A week later, when she came back from girls' night out, her face froze in shock at who opened the door. I didn't flinch when she said it. Her lips curled into that smug little smile, eyes testing me like a child dangling a match over gasoline. I need to find out if big size really matters. You'll never know. Don't worry. I looked at her. No anger, no tears, just silence. And a single word that sealed everything. Okay, we'd been together 7 years. I loved her with devotion that bent my spine and reshaped my world. I gave her loyalty, stability, a home she never had to doubt. She gave me laughter, warmth, the illusion of safety. Or maybe that's what I told myself as I watched her laugh with friends and trusted her girls' nights without hesitation. But the truth is, her words at night weren't a slip. They were a confession, a taunt, a dagger sharpened before my eyes. At first the pain was white-hot, like a brand searing my chest. Then it cooled and hardened. Pain calcified into something sharper. Clarity. Her words weren't careless. She wanted me to know she was stepping out. She wanted me powerless. Small. But I am not small and I do not break. It didn't take long. One night her phone was left unlocked on the kitchen counter. Her messages glowed like a neon sign. Can't wait for tonight. He'll never know. LOL. Bigger is always better. Every line burned, but I kept reading. Screenshot. Save. Forward to my private email. I wasn't chasing confirmation anymore. I was gathering ammunition. Her so-called girls' nights weren't cocktails and gossip. They were motel rooms and strangers. And each secret she thought she hid, I cataloged in silence. Anger screams. Revenge whispers. I chose whispers. Step 1. Lockdown finances. Joint accounts quietly redirected. Passwords changed. My paycheck routed to a separate account she knew nothing about. Step 2. Evidence. Screenshots, hotel receipts, phone records. Enough to crush her in any courtroom. Enough to ensure she'd leave with nothing but regret. Step 3. Timing. I didn't want an explosion. Explosions end quickly. I wanted a slow collapse, a stage so perfectly set that when the curtain dropped, she wouldn't just lose me. She'd lose the image of herself she clung to so tightly. The next week, she strutted out for girls' night in her tight black dress, heels clicking like a countdown. I waited, calm, patient. My plan was already in motion. By the time she returned, the locks were changed. The door she thought would open to her safe little home no longer belonged to her. But I wasn't gone. I was waiting. When she knocked, I opened, and beside me stood her mystery man. Only he wasn't the one she expected. It was her father, the man she adored, respected, and feared disappointing above all else. I had called him earlier that evening and sent everything. Screenshots, proof, the truth she thought buried under perfume and lies. The shock on her face when she saw him standing in my living room, eyes filled with fury, shame, and disappointment, was a masterpiece I had painted stroke by stroke. Care to explain? He asked, his voice low, deadly calm. Her mouth opened. Nothing came out, just a strangled gasp. Mascara streaked as reality sank in. She turned to me, desperate. I met her gaze, steady, unflinching. No yelling, no pleading, just silence that screamed louder than any words. Her father dropped an envelope of printed screenshots onto the table. The sound echoed like a gunshot. Her world collapsed right there in the doorway of the home she no longer had a key to. The next days moved fast. Divorce papers were filed, evidence attached. Friends who once envied her perfect marriage suddenly saw the cracks, the rot beneath her glitter. Her father cut her off financially, disgusted. Friends pulled back. Whispers of her betrayal spread faster than she could contain. The man she cheated with vanished. He was never hers, just a momentary thrill. And me. I walked away clean, money secure, reputation intact, a future free of poison. She wanted to know if size mattered. It did. Not the size she thought, not physical or carnal, but the size of patience, the size of silence, the size of a man's resolve when pushed too far. She mistook my quiet for weakness. She mistook my calm for smallness. Now she stands alone, stripped of respect, security, and the mask she wore so proudly. She finally understands. I was never small. I was always more than she could handle.